Bradford City have today confirmed that striker Olly Sanderson has had his loan from Premier League side Fulham FC terminated, and in today's video you're going to find out all my thoughts and opinions on this news and what it potentially means for any more incomings for Bradford City. The Bantams tweeted today at 3 PM saying Olly Sanderson has returned to Fulham after his loan with the Bantams was terminated. Everyone at the club wishes Olly the best for the future and would like to thank him for his services to the football club. The article does then read that Sanderson returns to Fulham. Olly Sanderson has returned to Fulham after his loan with the Bantams was terminated. During his time with City, Sanderson found the back of the net 3 times in 18 appearances across all competitions, obviously 2 in the league and 1 in the Football League trophy. Everyone at Bradford City wishes Olly the best for the future and would like to thank him for his services to the football club. Before we do any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 100 likes on today's video? That'd be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in on this news down in the comment section down below. Do you think Sanderson should have remained at Bradford City for the remainder of the season, or do you believe this is the right call? If we go through and have a look at Sanderson's time with the Bantams, then in total he played 13 league matches for us, starting 6 of them games, playing nearly 650 minutes. He scored 2 goals, averaging a goal every 322 minutes. He missed 3 big chances and had a 17% goal conversion rate, which I actually don't think any of them stats are really awful. To score 2 goals in just 6 starts, although I believe both of the goals that he did score were when he was a substitute in the league. I can't remember if that goal away at Walsall, no, he must have started that game away at Walsall because obviously the goal was in the first half. So I don't think that statistically his attacking stats are awful, in all honesty. Obviously no assists, but a 75% passing accuracy for a striker I think is pretty decent, in all honesty. Defensively his stats are not amazing, but again they're not bad for a striker. 0.6 tackles per game, 1.7 balls recovered, 0.8 clearances per game as well, winning 47% of his ground duels and 38% of his aerial duels. Statistically he didn't have a horrible time at Bradford City, but I just don't think that he was quite what we're looking for right now. You know, he's not ready to be consistently leading the line for a team like Bradford City who are wanting to get promoted. I still think he's League 2 quality. He could go out on loan to somewhere like a Tranmere or a Swindon, somewhere at a team that are near the lower end of the table, and I do think he will do quite well there. But despite having a pretty positive start, he scored away at Grimsby near the end of August, got a goal in the Football League trophy, then against Newcastle's under-21s, I think the following Tuesday after that. Just a couple of weeks later, he scored away at Walsall, but then since the start of September, he's not really been much of a goal threat. And while he hasn't featured in the squad too much since around the end of September, I think it was, we played away to Harrogate, he was subbed off at half-time and wasn't seen in a matchday squad for a long time after that. You know, you're looking at nearly 6-7 weeks before he was even seen in a squad. He was an unused substitute, I think, away at Cheltenham. There was a lot of rumours about falling out with the coaching staff, and none of that has obviously been confirmed publicly, but I think it's probably best for him and all parties for him to get a fresh start somewhere else, or go out and get another Football League loan. I think previously he had been out on loan in the National League, I can't remember off the top of my head where it was, then spent the second half of last season at Sutton, scored a couple of goals, spent the first half of this season at Bradford City, again scored a couple of goals, but recently his performances have just been nowhere near it. As we all know, on New Year's Day, Andy Cook unfortunately did suffer that ACL injury inside 5 minutes or so Sanderson basically got a full match to prove himself. He hadn't been given an opportunity like that in a very long time. He came on and really did struggle. He was a big hindrance for us, failed to hold the ball up, lost it nearly every time he got the ball, and when you lose a player like Andy Cook's quality, you obviously understand there's going to be a bit of a drop-off in any of your other strikers, because Andy Cook is the best striker in the division. He's one of the best players in the entire league as well. So we understood there was going to be a bit of a drop-off, but Sanderson's quality was absolutely awful. Consistently, like I said, losing the ball, failing to trap it and hold the ball up. And he's not exactly a small striker. You know, you would certainly put him down as more of a physical striker rather than a pacey striker. While he has got a little bit of pace about him, you know, I think he's over 6 foot, and he really did struggle against the Barrow defence. And I think they actually, at that time, didn't have a single natural centre-half on the pitch, or they might have had one, and he really struggled. So I think this is the right move for all parties, in all honesty. I personally believe that Michael Mellon will have been a replacement for Olly Sanderson, and we're still going to go out and get another striker in, at least one more striker to replace Andy Cook, and then we might get another one in if we get rid of one of Oliver or Smith, but again, that seems pretty unlikely. No one seems to want them, which is pretty understandable. In terms of how Bradford City's squad is now lining up for the 2024-25 2025 campaign. As you can see in these striker positions, we are looking a bit more healthy in terms of numbers. There's still a real lack of quality in there, with obviously Andy Cook being out for the remainder of this season. Michael Mellon, I think, is a good player if he can recapture his form at Morecambe. The rest of the options on there, I don't think are going to get more than 5 goals between them. In all honesty, Harry Ibbotson, he's not getting a single chance. We didn't even see him in pre-season, so I'd expect him to go out on loan again. We know Tyler Smith needs to go out on loan at the absolute minimum, but if we could sell him, that'd be great business. And obviously we need to try and either sell Verden Oliver or maybe have a mutual termination there as well, but we know he's on big wages and it's probably going to cost us a lot of money just to get rid of him. And I don't really think there's going to be many people who want strikers like Oliver and Smith, so we definitely need at least one more striker to come in. Obviously, with this being a loan departure, it does now mean we have another loan spot available. We have seen 3 of our 5 loans from the start of the season already leave the football club. Just Jay Ben and Jack Shepherd who have survived so far, and I think even Jay Ben, he could potentially go back to Lincoln City. If we bring another centre half in, you move Callum Johnson to be more competition for right wing back rather than right centre half, then where would that leave Jay Ben? Obviously not been in the last couple of matchday squads and hasn't really performed for a few months as well now. So there is strong rumours that Jonathan Tompkinson could be coming back to Bradford City. Obviously not featured at all for Norwich so far this season, clearly out of favour with their manager, also out of contract with the club in the summer. So could we maybe see Jonathan Tompkinson return? I think it was the City event who put the rumour out there, you know, we could be potentially interested again in Jonathan Tompkinson. I think they also said that there's a rumour about Matty Taylor as well, striker from Cheltenham. For me personally, I think there is better options out there. I think our number one target for a striker should be Freddie Draper. Did really well with Walsall last season. I think Michael Cheek, I wouldn't be against that signing depending on the finances, because I do think Bromley will want us to significantly overpay for a striker like that. But who knows, I'm not getting paid 100 grand a year to go out and scout all these players and sign a striker good enough to replace Andy Cook's goals. That is the job of Stephen Gent, David Sharp, Stefan Rupp to put his money where his mouth is, if that's the correct saying, because we've not really seen much investment so far. We know George Lapsley is going to cost a pretty penny, but I don't really think we've seen significant investment. I don't think the loans are going to cost, you know, substantial amounts of money, especially with Mellon being out of contract in the summer. Like I say, bringing Jonathan Tompkinson back to the club would be a great signing, even if it is on loan. Freddie Draper as well will be a really good addition, but I can't see both of them coming in because that's going to be 2 loans, and that's obviously then going to leave us with 6, and that obviously would maybe then mean Jay Ben would potentially leave. So I wouldn't be against that happening. I still do think we'll see a midfield departure, either Jamie Walker or Clark Ador. I think Walker will be a permanent, Clark Ador would be a loan, and maybe even a centre half departure. I think we should cut ties with somebody like a Neil Byrne, extend Paul Huntington's contract, but I guess there's still plenty of time left in at the transfer window. Let me know your thoughts on Bradford City's squad down in the comment section down below. Who do you think we should sign? Who do you think should leave the football club as well this transfer window? If you have enjoyed watching, as always, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 100 likes? As I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Go check out all the previous transfer news reactions if you haven't already. I think all of them have been turned around within 90 minutes, so thank you all so much for the support on all them videos. They're all doing absolutely amazing, apart from the Check the Abati video, so go check that one out if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching though, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Hopefully it's the announcement of Tommy Lee. That might come tomorrow.